Aw, someone's cranky.
Didn't have to take it out on the editing computer. Just saying.
Can you really blame her?
Absolutely, yes. That was just a really dick move. Time to get started. I got her legs!
No! Let me!
Can't you see who I am? I'm invincible, like a force that is out of control. It's the key to achieving my goals. Unbreakable. Can't you hear what I say? It's a miracle. Now you're scared that you're losing it all. But this power runs deep in my soul. Invincible.
Welcome back to Conan. Before we get on with today's outing, I'd like to point out that I've made the choice not to cover the diplomat murder case, which has a significant plot point that crops up here, but I'll get back to that when the time comes. We open on a winter afternoon as the kids trek home from school. Jin's narration telling Hibara their game has ended. He spies her as she passes his car, blissfully unaware of the storm raging inside.
We know this is a dream because Genta isn't pressuring them all into stopping for Eel.
At school, the dream is in her head as snow starts to fall. Thankfully, Amy's there to break her out of it and comforts her. Hibara's still worried about the consequences of Jin actually finding her and allowing the woman she loves to come to harm is obviously horrifying. She even makes the mistake of muttering aloud how much better it would be if she could just disappear. Well, anyone even slightly versed in suicide prevention knows that's coded cry for help. That goes right over the kids' heads, but Amy's genuine concern is joined by the others. Hibara plays it off as her only joking and is just sick. Amy, not being terribly bright, falls for this completely and hauls her off to the nurse.
On the walk home, Conan takes a moment to speak with her candidly. He reassures her that the organization finding them without knowing about the rare side effect would be absurd, and even if they did, he'd think of something, so go over there and be with your girlfriend already.
I'm not sure what disturbs me more. That Conan thinks he's one to comment on anyone else's romantic entanglements, or that having dispensed such said commentary is actually sound.
I love this scene. I'm a flat sucker for a dark, snowy atmosphere, and this gives me chills. It kinda reminds me of Fortitude. Anyone else remember that? Sky TV? They got Christopher Eccleston for like one episode.
Then she spots Jin's Porsche parked out on the street, pants to be darkened.
Conan breaks in and plants a bug. What could possibly go wrong? Jin starts talking on the phone which Shinichi picks up through the mic, though he can only hear one side of the conversation about a job at a nearby hotel. Jin authorizes Pisco to the use of the drug, if it comes to that.
Jin notices an odd strand of hair in his car, one of Hibara's. A quick search of the cabin and he's taken out the tracker. Conan plans to go solo on this one. Too big a chance that she'd be recognized. But if he's lucky and he's smart, he might also be able to get a sample of the drug.
Hibara comes along anyway because Conan said he erased all traces from the car, so no way anyone's looking for her. Shit.
She tells Conan about her nightmare and expands on it. After Jin appears, she ran. Conan was the first shot down, then one after another until he finally killed Amy and then herself.
Conan gives her his fake glasses to help her disguise. I'd make the prerequisite Superman joke, but the episode does that for me.
This is a big room with lots of famous actors and the film industry bigwigs mourning the death of this director. Notably absent Yukiko Kudo, Shinichi's mother. So they aren't going to have any support from the family if things go south.
However, the party is interrupted by the arrival of Inspector McGuire. Conan called him in to protect a lawyer caught up in an ongoing scandal. It's possible he's not the target, but the police coming out in force will make things more difficult regardless.
The Wake's organizer drops the lights to show off some old photos. Silhouette men thrive in darkness and crowds, so the first alert anyone has is a chandelier crashing to the ground. Anyway, Conan gets a handkerchief dropped on his head. As the lights go up, they discover the body. Dun dun dun! Part 1 is almost all about Hibara and her growing paranoia, gearing up to her initial character arc. She's still emotionally frail, and her dire warnings from the beginning start to echo through. It's got a good atmosphere, but it just can't stick the emotional weight it needs to. If I had to hazard a guess, what drops the ball is the music. They used the standard "things are getting serious" music instead of where I think silent, with just the voice of the announcer, and a more frantic search through the dark might have better served. Good effort, but the punch just wasn't land.
I'll show you how to land a punch!